Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 71 of Brat Said That. I'm your host, Brad Jackson, along with my co-producer, Chad LGBT. We want to welcome everybody to a great Monday. It is officially summer. Yes, summertime is here. June 22nd. Yesterday was the official day of summer, but summer is one of my favorite seasons. The beaches, the bratwursts, the just everything to do with summer, except for the 115-degree dry heat that we live in Vegas. But hey, it happens. Still not used to it. Still not used to living in a place where it is 115 degrees. I've been here for 13 years, and I'll be honest, you think you would get used to it, but no. The heat outside, walking outside just makes you pissed off now, you know? Like, I'll wait till it cools down and go to the car, you know? But, welcome everybody. We're here, got the dogs with me. We're going to have a great show today. It is Monday, summer. Monday Night Raw happened over in the UK, and we got all the results. We don't have to wait till later tonight. We already watched it. We wrote up the show, and we're going to talk about Monday afternoon Raw. Because we are just 6 days away from Night of Champions, and it's coming down King of the Ring finals. Obafemi, Jey Uso, who's going to go on to SummerSlam to face the champion of their choosing. Listen, they had a little promo today. Obafemi came out and he's like, hey, Jey, I'm not worried about you. Tell your cousin I'm coming after him. So if Oba wins, that we most likely think it's going to be Oba losing to Jey after Brock, and then Brock and Oba in Minnesota at SummerSlam. But Jey Uso's like, I got you in my sights. This is a warning shot. Bang! And, we're going to see King Jey. It's official. It's pretty much, it's King Jey. And, a lot of people are upset, but things can change. Things can change just like things are changing in the women's division. No, we still have the same tag team champions, Paige and Brie Bella. Having a very lengthy title reign, if you think about it. You figured they debuted together. Was that WrestleMania? That was WrestleMania when they won the titles. Wow. But they defeated Lala Valkyria, Bird Lady, and Bayley. Layla Valkyria turned her back on Bayley. Yes, we all saw that coming. They lost the tag team championships, and then they have that awkward moment where, like, Bird Lady is upset, and Bayley's like, we'll do better next time. Give me a hug. And then they give each other a hug, and as they're going to leave, Bird Lady, Layla Valkyria, threw her into the ropes, beat her up. So, that team is no longer, which is good because I love them as singles wrestler. Bayley, one of my favorite women wrestlers of all time. Time to end that tag team, and I'm glad they did. And, we'll probably get a lot of good singles matches out of that. Let's see what else happened. Then you had Chad Gable coming up. Now, listen, I think the Chad Gable hype is diminishing very quickly. Because, he's coming out, he's trying to get the Chad Gable wave, it's this. He's trying to get the crowd, and I just think now that we're past El Grande Americano Gable, he's got to do something. I love Chad Gable. We watched his little documentary on the YouTube, and but he came out there. He wants to apologize to Akira Tozawa. He wants to apologize to Otis, and he wants to apologize to Maxine. And it looked like he was going to get his apology from Otis and Akira, but Maxine, who we are going to probably see joining the Vision in the near future, she's like, no, we're not accept your apology. Like, you're a jerk, and you've been a jerk to us. What, you think just because you're all now unmasked Chad Gable Americano, we're supposed to forgive you? Nuh-uh. So, that was a good little, I don't want to say heel moment for Maxine, but definitely gave her the good mic skills if she's going to join the Vision, which they got to do something, okay? I don't think we've ever seen a backstage encounter that led to anything. Like, they love doing this on Monday Night Raw. Every single week, you see two people talking backstage. Nothing ever comes of it. Oh, by the way, I have a microphone. I know I was missing something. Can you hear me? Hello. But yeah, so Chad Gable is on his redemption arc. Then Ethan Page defeated Dragon Lee. I didn't watch this match, but they still got the ego. Obviously Ego as Ethan Page and Rusev, and then you got Dragon Lee and Rey Mysterio, Penta. I think Ethan Page is going to be your next Intercontinental Champion after he defeats Penta. Then Io Sky had a little interaction with Liv Morgan, just like Oba and Jay did for the men's King of the Ring finals. Liv and Io went at it in a little verbal battle. Little scary situation happened. It looked like on a house show, if they still call it that. Soroka kind of hit Liv Morgan a little not right, and Liv looked like she was injured, but she looks fine now. But yeah, Io and Liv, I'm gonna put those down because it's actually bothering me. They're gonna fight for the Queen of the Ring title, and who's ever gonna win that is gonna go to SummerSlam to face champion of their choosing. So, can Io beat Liv and then face Liv at SummerSlam? Ooh, that would be good. Then we got the best part, Danhausen. He's still around in the background, housing. This time, JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio was like, "Hey, Danhausen, where's my money?" And Danhausen's like, "Well, I spent your money. I'm sorry." And JD's like, "Well, if you spent our money, we're going to take this, whatever it is." And JD McDonough put his hand on it, got electrocuted. I don't know. It looks like Danhausen is electrocuting more people than the Texas State Penitentiary. But yeah, we need that big reveal too. We were watching Braun Strowman eat a bunch of food at Yankee Stadium because that's what life consists of in 2026. And I really want to see Braun Strowmanhausen. I think that would be the best bet for whatever Danhausen is creating back there. Then LA Knight defeated Jimmy Uso. They've been going at it too, like, "Hey, LA Knight, stay out of the bloodline business." And LA Knight's like, "No." Wait, he doesn't say that. He says, "Yeah," but he's not gonna. And then Solo Sikoa came out from the crowd, disrupted the match. Good to see him on SmackDown, on Raw. I think we need to see more Solo. He emerged from the crowd, hit Jimmy with the Samoan Spike to allow the Megastar to pick up the victory with the BFT. Okay, so I didn't watch it, but it seems like Solo Sikoa is, I don't know if that was an accidente or what, but the big news of the night was we have new Raw World Tag Team Champions. Their Street Profits are once again Tag Team Champions. Shout out to them. It was a good match. You got Bron Breakker. He's going to face Seth Rollins this Saturday. Him and Austin Theory are the Tag Team Champions, or were the Tag Team Champions, because Logan Paul is hurt. But, Logan was out there with the Vision, and Street Vision would be a great name if they combined each other. And then, he was ready to give Austin Theory the brass knuckles to hit Montez Ford. But all of a sudden, Joe Hendry, he comes out, he makes his turn, chases Logan Paul off, and then just as, things look like Division are going to win, Seth Rollins comes, burns it down, distracts Bron Breakker, hits Austin Theory in the head with the brass knuckles, allowing the Street Profits to get the pin, the 1, the 2, and the 3, and the new World Tag Team Champions. I think it's the World Tag Team Championships. I don't know, like WWE World, same thing. But good to see that. Good to get the titles off of Braun, because we got Night of Champions coming up next this Saturday. We'll talk more about Night of Champions. We pretty much went over the card. Nothing's changed. Nothing's been added. But we'll give our predictions or our thoughts on the Friday show. But really, it was a good Raw. I love when Raw is on early and I'm off and I can relax it with the dogs and I have to worry about, writing up a show and then hopping back on here. But, it was the last Raw before Night of Champions. But we do got to talk about a few more things in wrestling. The third season of Netflix WWE docuseries Unreal drops July 21st, which, I think Unreal is, I don't know. I don't think it's real. I think it's scripted. I think they script incidents that happen so they can show it on Unreal. Like the whole R-Truth thing, when he got released, that was for Unreal. Like, we need some storyline for Unreal. How about we say we release R-Truth and show the backlash? First season, it was Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte, and Tiffany Stratton had that promo battle, and Tiffany Stratton went off. I was like, Tiffany, listen, we're going to do this tonight. Make it look real. We're going to use it for, Unreal. No pun intended. But it looks like dropping July 21st, which is next month, less than a month away, offering 50-minute episodes on the creative decisions, WrestleMania 42. Oh, Penny. Hey. She doesn't, sorry. She's okay. He's okay. Penny's an old dog, and she likes to howl sometimes. But, Bubba, it's okay. This is a actual real-life family moment. Bubba is freaking out, but he's okay. We're just doing a show, Penny. It's okay. So it's going to be John Cena's Emotional Last Time Is Now tournament, the return of AJ Lee, Trick Williams, Bron Breakker, Cody Rhodes. It's going to all feature that. I'll watch it. We'll talk about it, but I don't know. 3 seasons is enough. Speaking about stuff that's enough, Bully Ray is out there talking stupid shit again. Yes, Bully Ray has a very successful YouTube channel, YouTube show. On, was it Busted Open? I haven't really checked it out because I'm not a big fan of Bully Ray. But Bully Ray took an aim at John Moxley, saying he'll beat the out of him while discussing the Death Rider storyline. That's guaranteed to get wrestling Twitter arguing all week. Well, here's the thing. I don't think Bully Ray can beat up John Moxley. Okay? I don't know why Bully Ray thinks he's a big tough guy. I mean, he is from an era where it did take to be a big tough guy. But that was also 30 years ago. So I think times change. John Moxley, I know, does like mixed martial arts. So I don't know why Bully Ray would say stuff like that to John Moxley. I don't think it's really relevant. Like, you're not even in the same company. Stop talking nonsense. But yeah, I don't know. It just proves another doubt that Bully Ray is just a huge piece of trash. So, Brat Said That. No regrets. Anyway, we're going to move on to MMA. We had a big fight card this weekend at the Apex. Manel Kape took on Koji Horiguchi, and I said Horiguchi was going to win, and guess what happened to Horiguchi? He got knocked out in the 3rd round. So Manel Kape, good win for in the main event. Hold on, I need to get Penny real quick. All right, well, here we go with the guest of honor because she's gonna just chill here for a little bit. Anyway, Manel Kape won in the flyweight bout. Big flyweight bout for them, for Manel Kape. He might get the next decision. But, you know, Horiguchi is a name, you know, he was a top-ranked contender. And light heavyweight bout, though, Nalvar Sterling put a beat down on Io Cutelabra. 2nd round, TKO punches. Good for him. Good to make a name for in the light heavyweight division. Because that division is so shallow that 2 or 3 fights in that division, and you can get yourself to be number 1 contender. But he is 10-0. He's looking good. Huge win over Cutelabra. So we'll see what happens next. Unfortunately, let's see. For some fighters, they lost because that's what happens in a fight. You win, you lose. And Andre Fili lost featherweight against Vinicius Oliveira. And but yeah, just another Apex card. We're gonna have a huge card over in Azerbaijan. Rafael Fiziev is gonna take on Manel Torres. That's gonna be a good lightweight bout. Fiziev needs to get himself, Sorry, these dogs, man, they're like kids. Happy Father's Day, by the way. Happy Father's Day, by the way, to all the fathers, everybody. Talking about fights, fathers, so good for all the fathers. They are the world champions, just like mothers, but, yeah. So, yeah, this weekend, June 27th, we got Fiziev versus Manel Torres. Manel Torres, though, never really heard of him too much. 17-3. He is, 6-1 in the UFC. Fiziev, he's got the more experience. He's faced the names like the Justin Gaethjes, the Rafael Dos Anjos, Mauricio Ruffi, the Bobby Greens. So he's looking to bounce back from a loss. He is 1-4 in his last 5 fights. So he needs to do something. And a lot of these fighters, their last name ends with V. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 fighters. Their last name ends in V. So with the way things are going nowadays, root for the fighters that names end in V. But Oklahoma City does get their main event. Former welterweight champion Kamaru Usman is going to take on former UFC middleweight champion Dricus Du Plessis. Oddmakers have Du Plessis as a favorable headlining into the July 18th showdown. So that's going to be a good fight. Is that a middleweight fight? Because I know Kamaru Usman is former welterweight. I think that is middleweight. Yes, that is middleweight. Because I don't think DDP can possibly make 170 because that is a big, big dude. We're talking about fathers and Father's Day. Former interim lightweight champion, one of my favorites, Dustin Diamond Poirier, was reportedly arrested in Georgia, the state, on a public drunkenness charge over Father's Day weekend. You know what? Diamond might be enjoying retirement a little bit too much, but you can't fault him from, drunken. What is drunkenness in public? We're all drunk in public. It's the way this world's going. You need to be drunk to deal with the public. But yeah, no big charges or anything. Probably just a slap on the wrist or pay a fine and say, hey, don't do that again. But yeah, he doesn't have a history of crazy out there and rap sheet. So he probably just had a little bit too much to drink and got in trouble for it. But he'll live to see another day. But there is one thing I do want to talk about. The Ultimate Fighter has returned. I haven't watched any of the episodes, but I am a huge fan of the Ultimate Fighter. We're going to look back at the Ultimate Fighter, look at the champions, look at what the Ultimate Fighter is, and really, if it wasn't for the Ultimate Fighter 1, Stephan Bonnar versus Forrest Griffin, I don't think we would be here today. So, the Ultimate Fighter was a series, or is a series. It debuted in Spike TV back in 2005. It had 16 up-and-coming fighters live in a house, fight their way to the finals, and the winner would get a 6-figure contract to the UFC. Like I said, Season 1 had some of the biggest names Forrest Griffin, Stephan Bonnar, Diego Sanchez, Kenny Florian. The coaches, too, Chuck Liddell and Randy Couture, two of the biggest names at that time, and it came down to Forrest and Stephan in the light heavyweight showdown, and Diego Sanchez and Kenny Florian. And Forrest and Stephan had such a great fight that it just catapulted to the UFC to the next level. It's one of those like, hey, go put on this fight right now. It is amazing. And I miss Stephan Bonnar. I did meet him a few times. I did train with him, so he was a great guy. But, Diego Sanchez, too, was, he had a very lengthy UFC career. Kenny Florian, multiple championship title opportunities. Then the second season, Rashad Evans and Joe Stevenson. You had the crazy Luke Kumo, the quiet assassin. He was on it. And then Season 3 was really like, this is when you got Michael Bisping, Matt Hamill. The coaches, the first time the coaches would fight. Actually, no, that's not true because Couture and Liddell fought. But, this is like a bitter feud between Tito Ortiz and Ken Shamrock. Bisping won that light heavyweight bracket. Kendall Grove, you remember him? He defeated Ed Herman to become the middleweight bracket winner. Then you have a little bit of a different season. This is the comeback where they brought back 16 fighters that fought in the UFC. Didn't really make an impact. Didn't really go their way. And the winners would get a title shot against the champions. Travis Lutter won the middleweight bracket. He defeated Patrick Cote. Went on to face Anderson Silva. Lutter missed weight for his fight. Didn't get to fight Anderson Silva for the title. Anderson Silva choked him out anyway with the triangle. But then Matt Terracera defeated Chris Lytle. Went on to beat George St. Pierre to become the UFC welterweight champion. in my favorite fight of all time. My favorite season, though, Ultimate Fighter 5. This was when the lightweights showed up. BJ Penn in his prime against Jens Pulver. And then you had Nate Diaz. You had, Gray Maynard, Manny Gambiri, and Joe Lozon, Cole Miller. Just the names that, like, the foundational lightweight division in the mid-2000s. Nate won with Manny in the finals. And who can remember Carl Parisian getting in Nate's face, and Nate almost stopped and smacking him. And it was great. And, yeah, every season, too, the coaches do a little sports, like, coaches challenge. And I think that one was a pool. Season 6, you had Matt Serra come back with Matt Hughes. That one, you had Mac Danzig winning. That season was kind of not that great. I enjoyed like the first 15 seasons, but then you also have War Machine, and if you know anything about War Machine, not a very good guy. Season 7, you had Quentin Jackson, Rampage coaching against Forrest Griffin. Amir Sadala won that CB Dollaway in the co-main, or the main CB Dollaway in the finals. Then you got Nogueira and Timur, Ryan Bader, Efren Escudero. One of my second favorite seasons, Ultimate Fighter 9, UK versus US. Stan Henderson from the US team, Michael Bisping from the UK team. You had Ross Pearson and James Wilk, Andre Winter and DeMarcus Johnson. That one led to the knockout of the year, UFC 100, with just Dan Henderson dropping the H-bomb on Bisping. Then you have Season 10, the Ultimate Fighter heavyweights, Quentin Jackson, Rashad Evans, which had rest in peace Kimbo Slice on it. Big Country Roy Nelson, who went on to win the show. Just shenanigans between those two was really just, the fight itself wasn't that great, but the season was phenomenal. Then, you had a really good seasons. Chuck and Tito did Ultimate Fighter 11. GSP Koscheck did Ultimate Fighter 12. Lesnar, Dos Santos. This had Tony Ferguson winning it. Third favorite season, Team Bisping versus Team Miller. The bantamweight and featherweights for the first time, John Dodson and Diego Brandao defeated TJ Dillashaw, future champion. Then, the 15th season was a live season, which every fight was live. They filmed a week in advance, but the fight itself was live. Michael Chiesa defeated Al Iaquinta on that one. 16, this is when it kind of went a little bit down. Carwin and Nelson was good, but Colton Smith, who was that? Team Jones and Team Sonnen was great. Kelvin Gastelum and Uriah Hall fought in the finals. Rousing and Tate was a great season for the women. Edgar and Penn, but really nothing really. Then they did American Top Team versus Black Zillions. Kamaru Usman won that for American Top Team. But then really nothing really blew my mind the next 5-6 years. They stopped doing it every year. It's now 1 year, then it skips 2 years. But this season does have Daniel Cormier and Michael Bisping. I haven't seen any of the fights. It started June 14th. So I'll check it out for next show. But it looks like it is going to be the men's bantamweights and women's strawweights. So, tiny humans. And who knows? I know Bisping and Cormier can go back and forth. So, I liked when they used to fight at the end of the season. I like the pay-per-view or for the title. But, overall, a lot of fighters did come out of this. Let's be honest. And they had a bunch of international versions, of course, Brazil, the Smashes, China, Canada versus Australia. But pre-show success, you had a lot of champions. You have Forrest Griffin becoming UFC lightweight champion. Rashad Evans, light heavyweight. Scott Forrest Griffin, light heavyweight. I don't think that guy's ever been lightweight. Bisping took him a while, became the UFC middleweight champion. Matt Serra, like we said, Hall of Famer. Nobody from top 5, but Gray Maynard did have that series with Frankie Edgar. Nate did face Benson Henderson for the lightweight championship and became the Nate Diaz we all know and love. Tony Ferguson fought for the interim lightweight championship and won and lost. TJ Dillashaw probably one of the best champions, you know. And then nobody, Juliana Pena, you know, no matter how crazy she is, she came off the show, defeated Amanda Nunes, Carlo Esparza, Rose Namajunas, can't forget those two, Kamaru Usman, we talked about. Brandon Moreno, too, Alexander Pantoja, they did a season where they were all champions in the different regional promotions, and then winner would face Demetrius Johnson at the end. Tim Elliott won the contest but lost to Johnson. Nico Montano, probably the worst Ultimate Fighter winner and champion in UFC history. Robert Whittaker came from the Smashes. That was a really fun season. I do remember watching that. And then Yair Rodriguez, he won a Latin America season. So overall, it's a great show. The first 16 are really, like, amazing. Then they changed formats. And now it's very, like, you know, hi, I'm Tim. I live in Alaska with my dog and my girlfriend. We're going to have a baby. Nobody cares about that. We want to see some Judy Browning. Judy Browning. Who's Judy Browning? Judy Browning is probably the most infamous tough contestant. He was on Tough 8. He was alcoholic. I hope he's doing good now. I mean, but he was the little hothead of the show. Threatened to do a lot of things, and you know it was a crazy season. But overall, Ultimate Fighter, it's been how many seasons? I don't know. I can't tell you how many seasons there have been. I think 25 they're up to. Let's see. This is season 34. 34. 24. 34. Holy shit. It's a lot of seasons. But we're going to move on. I'll be honest. We are in a lull period. I know it is. Things are heating up. But we are in a lull period. What does that mean, Brett? I'll tell you what that means. No basketball. No hockey. No football yet. We've got FIFA. We're going to talk about FIFA. MLB, it's going to be the All-Star game coming up next month. But really, I mean, it was great to have all those hockey games and basketball games and baseball games. But now we're in the lull period of the year. You know, this is why I started the show in September. Because the lull period. But we do have the All-Star game coming July 11th. And the All-Star update bracket is out there. We're going to check on the teams. Obviously, I don't know if every team gets a representative. I think they should. But, you know, we'll talk about the top leaders in every position. For National League catcher, Drake Baldwin from the Braves. First baseman, Freddie Freeman from the Dodgers. Second baseman, Ozzie Albies from the Braves. Third baseman, Max Muncy from the Dodgers. Shortstops, C.J. Abrams from the Nationals. Designated hitter, Shohei Ohtani. Ever hear of that guy? 2.3 million votes already. Then Kyle Schwarber, Phillies. Dominic Smith, Braves. Outfielders, Andy Pages from the Dodgers. Brandon Marsh from the Phillies. And Ronald Acuna Jr. from the Braves. So, and the American League's catchers, Shea Langeliers. I don't know how to pronounce that last name. From the Athletics. The future Las Vegas Athletics. First baseman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. from the Blue Jays, 1.4 million votes. Second baseman, Ernie Clement from the Blue Jays, 2 million views, ballot. Third baseman, Junior Caminero from the Rays. Shortstop, Bobby Witt Jr. Designated hitter, Yoran Alvarez, George Springer, Yandy Diaz, John Carlos Stanton still in there. Outfielders, Aaron Judge, Mike Trout, and Byron Buxton. That is a hell of an outfield. And I don't think they have the pitchers yet. But let me know. Any White Sox, Tristan Peters, Sam Antonacci. Now, they better have Murakami. I know he was hurt, but Murakami, 741,000 votes so far. So I know he's hurt, but let's get him in the Hall of Fame. I mean, eventually, but let's get him into the All-Star game. We're going to definitely have a nice big All-Star weekend. We're going to give our predictions for the Hall of Fame Derby, Home Run Derby, All-Star game, and everything. But, excuse me. But we do just in 3 days. 3 days or 2 days. I don't know what day it is. We're going to have the NBA draft. And it looks like the Washington Wizards are going to draft AJ. Whoa. Diabonstia. I gotta look at these names first. So, most likely he's gonna get drafted first. But let's look at the history of the number one draft pick in the NBA. Because, fun fact, we've had some really infamous ones like LeBron James, and we've had some really bad ones. So, last year we know Cooper Flag from the Mavericks, doing great from Duke. 2024, Zachary Reicher from the Hawks, hasn't really made a name. Victor Wembanyama, of course, number one, 2023. 2022, Paolo Banchero from the Magic. Cade Cunningham, 2021 from the Pistons. Anthony Edwards, 2020 from Minnesota. 2019, Zion Williamson from the Pelicans. Now, these two. Phoenix Suns, 2018, drafted DeAndre Ayton, okay? Second was Marvin Bagley, the third. But third, Luka Doncic. Fourth, Jared Jackson Jr. And fifth, Trae Young. Missed the mark on that one. 2017, the 76ers drafted Markelle Fultz. Lonzo was number 2, but who was number 3? Jason Tatum. Boston won on that one for sure. 2016, Ben Simmons, not very good. 2015, Minnesota Timberwolves drafted the future NBA champion, Karl Anthony Towns. 2014, Andrew Wiggins. That wasn't that good of a draft. I mean, they get Joel Embiid, Julius Randle, Zach LaVine, but then 2013, and possibly one of the worst picks of all time, the Cleveland Cavaliers drafted from UNLV, just down the street, Anthony Bennett from Canada, in one of the worst picks to ever be drafted number one. He spent 1 year in Cleveland before bouncing between Minnesota, Toronto, Brooklyn, and then he ended up in the Taiwanese basketball league. So, yeah, missed the mark in 2013. Then you got Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, John Wall, Blake Griffin, Derrick Rose. That's a hell of a back-to-back list. 2007, though, Greg Oden. We all know Greg Oden. I don't like to use the word bust unless you're Jamarcus Russell, but Kevin Durant was the next pick, and Greg Oden was just plagued with injuries and just missed the entire season and just did not do well. Still played since 2014. That was a good 7 years, but yeah, Kevin Durant. And then 2006, Andrea Bargnani from the Raptors. Not a very good player. Then you have Lamar. I mean, really, that wasn't that good of a draft class anyway. LaMarcus Aldridge, Brandon Roy, Rondo, and, 2004, Dwight Howard. 2005, sorry, Andrew Bogut. 2003 was some kid from St. Vincent St. Mary High School. I don't know if he did good in LeBron James. No, of course, 2003, straight out of high school, LeBron James. One of the greatest players. The greatest player of all time. Lived up to everything he did and said. And 2002, though, Yao Ming. 2001, we're not going to go all the way. 2001, though, Kwame Brown, not a good year for that class. You had Tyson Chandler, Paul Gasol go back-to-back. But then, 97, Tim Duncan. 96, Allen Iverson. 94, Glenn Robinson. 92, Shaq. 87, David Robinson. 85, New York Knicks, Patrick Ewing. And for anybody wondering, in 1984, the Houston Rockets selected from North Carolina, Michael Jordan. No, they did not. Akeem Olajuwon was drafted first. Michael Jordan drafted third. I think this is a history of people thinking Jordan got drafted first. He did not. He got drafted third. Barkley got drafted 5th. But then other names, Magic Johnson, 79. Bill Walton, 74. Lou Alcindor, who came, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, 1969. So we are definitely looking at a new, obviously, first pick in the draft. Wizards had it 7 times. 1 as the Chicago Packers, 1 as Chicago Zephyrs, 2 as the Bullets, and 3 as the Wizards. Cavaliers had 6 times, Houston Rockets 5, Kings 5, Atlanta Hawks 4. And Toronto's only had it 1 time, Phoenix had 1 time, Hornets had it 1 time. But everybody's a college basketball fan. Duke, 6 total number 1 picks. Kentucky 3, North Carolina 2, UCLA with 2. And with 1 is that little school. Oh, wait. I'm sorry. UNLV has had 2. Anthony Bennett and Larry Johnson from the Hornets. So, yeah, that's like the long period. You know, we look at the past because right now the present is kind of low. Speaking about the future, the Dallas Mavericks, yes, my team. I know I've been rooting for the Knicks. Like I said, I'm not a Knicks fan, but I'm a New Yorker. The Dallas Mavericks are hiring former Michigan head coach Dusty May as the new head coach. May, who led the Wolverines to a 2026 national championship. I did not know that. I did not put that two together until just now, that he led the Michigan Wolverines to the NCAA championship. Now I feel so much better. Led them to the championship to replace Jason Kidd and lead a roster centered around Rookie of the Year Hooper Flag. Well, just like the summer, the Dallas Mavericks' future, looking bright. So I'm excited for that. Welcome to the team, Dustin May. Thank you for everything, Jay Kidd. We're moving on to the NHL. The Ottawa Senators made a huge trade for Captain Brady Tkachuk to the Florida Panthers, who already have their brother Matthew on the roster. This trade, which both clubs announced, include Ottawa landing both of the Panthers' first-round picks in the draft Friday. We'll talk about the draft. I'm not prepared to talk about the NHL draft because I don't know anything about it. The 9th choice and the 25th selection, and somebody from the Seattle Kraken, as well as the 2029 first-round pick. Insane. So, Matthew Tkachuk and Brady Tkachuk. I hope I'm saying their last name right. I'm probably not, but I didn't want to look at this. Brothers that played professionally on the same team. Now, we all know brothers that played together. You know, we know Eli and Peyton. They didn't play together, but played in the same league. You know, you have other examples, like, I can't remember, but let's see. Brady and Matthew Tkachuk, they're going to play for the Florida Panthers. Eric and Mark Stahl, they play for the Panthers too. Maurice and Henry Richard, we just talked about them. They played together in the Montreal Canadiens in the 50s. In the NBA, Giannis Antetokounmpo and Giannis, they played against the Bucks, capturing a title together. Brooke and Robin Lopez played on the Bucks too. LaMelo and LiAngelo, they played Charlotte together in the early 2020s. I think LiAngelo played a little bit with LaMelo. So Travis and Jason Kelce never played together, but they played in a Pro Bowl together. Rob and Dan Gronkowski, we all know Gronkowski had about 6 or 7 brothers. JJ and Derek Watt played as the Steelers, and Hank and Tommy Aaron in the MLB. So yeah, that's cool to see like brothers playing together. I think it's very confusing if you were like a, Jackson, get on the court. Which one? There's 2 of us. But yeah, so no football yet, but the UFL did have their United Bowl, and we have a winner. The Louisville Kings defeated the DC Defenders. I think this was the Kings' first season in the UFL, so good for them. Louisville, Kentucky. I like their fried chicken. Anyway, we do got to move on to FIFA. Hold on, I need a sip of drink. That's some good stuff. Anyway, we are almost in the knockout round in FIFA. Yes, FIFA is still going crazy. We are still got a month left to go. Let's see, we were on Friday. We'll talk about the weekend games. Before we do, Lionel Messi is now the all-time leader goal scorer in World Cup history. So good for Lionel Messi. We did talk about, let's see, when we were on last. 619. So USA defeated Australia. Good for Team USA. We're 2-0. Morocco defeated Scotland 1-0. Brazil defeated Haiti 3-0. And Paraguay defeated Turkey 1-0. Then Saturday, Netherlands beats Sweden 5-1. Germany defeated Cote d'Ivoire 2-1. I'll be crazy if I pronounce that right. Ecuador tied with Morocco, countries I've never been to, 0-0. Japan with a shutout against Tunisia. Then yesterday, Spain defeated Saudi Arabia 4-0. Belgium and Iran tied up 0-0. Uruguay and Cabo Verde 2-2, and Egypt defeated New Zealand 3-1. And today, Argentina defeated Austria. Sorry, on a Schwarzenegger. 2-0. France is delayed against Iraq there, 1-0. And we got Norway, Senegal, and Jordan and Algeria tonight too. Next time USA plays will be Thursday against Turkey. It is going to be the next round. I know Germany, I know Mexico, and I know USA did move on. So, come here for all your FIFA news. Let's see. We got whoever has to type these up, I feel so bad for. So bad for them. Because there are so many numbers and letters and just stuff I don't know. There's there's got to be thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of words somebody typed up on Wikipedia to tell you about the next round and, who got what and who's going where. It is insane in the membrane, to be honest. I'm trying to get the next round, but I'm telling you, there's so much words and the voting category qualifications, the pots. I don't know what pots are. Group A, Group B, Group C, Group D, Group E, Group F, Group G, Group H, Group I, J, K, L. Holy shit. Okay, here's the knockout stage. The knockout stage is what I want, because knockout's cool. So, Mexico, United States, Germany, and Argentina have all qualified. Germany, United States, Mexico, Argentina. Still waiting a bunch of winners. We are still way to go, but, good to see Team USA moving on to the second round. Things that are not moving on is going to be the House of the Dragon. Yes, totally shocked that it came out yesterday. I thought it was going to come out 2027, and then I'm watching commercial. It's like, House of the Dragon returns tonight. I'm like, what? So, we're going to talk a little bit about the House of the Dragon. I can't talk about it too much because there is so much to talk about. Now, if you like Game of Thrones, you're going to love House of the Dragon because it is the prequel to the Game of Thrones, George R.R. Martin's Song of Ice and Fire franchise. The books, it's got Matt Smith, Daemon Targaryen, Paddy Considine as the King Viserys, Emma Darcy as Rhaenyra Targaryen, Millie Alcock as a younger Rhaenyra. Look forward to seeing Millie Alcock in Supergirl coming out this Friday. Rhys Fiennes, he was from Harry Potter, he was from Spider-Man, and he is from The Replacements. He plays Sir Otto Hightower, who is, the Hand of the King. Then you got Christian Cole, who's like, where do I even begin? It is such. Let me get a nice. Give me a nice recap of House of the Dragon. It's a family. It's all incest. You got the Targaryens. You got the Hightowers. You got the brothers against brothers, sisters against sisters, nieces against nephews. It is a Jerry Springer show back in the fictional world of the Iron Throne. So, 200 years before Game of Thrones, the House Targaryen is at the peak of power. They got dragons. Fucking lot of dragons. Okay? The biggest problem, the threat to the Targaryens is the Targaryens. You got the king. He was awesome. Paddy Considine. He was, was a good king. He wasn't a mad king. He was a good king. He dies, and then he leads his son Daemon Targaryen, who is a piece of shit, as king, and as the king Aemon. Sorry, Daemon Aemon Aegon. You gotta. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? He's a king. Then you got Daemon Targaryen, which is Matt Smith, who played the Doctor. He's king now. It's the Blacks team Rhaenyra, the Greens team Alicent, and then Aemon becomes a problem. Vhagar is one of the dragons. He's dope. Versus dies. Okay, he dies. He gets old. He was 52, which is crazy because back in those days, you died when you were like 45. And then, he's like, Alicent, Rhaenyra, you're supposed to be the true king or queen because, here's a prophecy that the winter's coming and it's going to be cold. But Alicent was like, did you say Daemon? You said Aemon, right? Aemon's going to be... Okay, Aemon's the king? Okay. So, he's king. Then Loras Valerian, he's a snake eater. Season 2, it is a lot. It is a lot, okay? So, One Throne, bad parenting, unlimited grudges, and dragons. So that's really what it's all about. It's a great story. Unfortunately, since the prequel, we know the fates of every single person. It's got some of the best deaths in I've ever seen. We just lost a few supporting characters this season, already in episode 1. But really, it is a great, great, great show. It's one of those shows where you can watch and enjoy it. Season 3, I think, is the last season. So, check it out, HBO Max. One thing before we leave, I do want to talk about, because you know me, I love true crime. And today, back in 2011, the infamous Whitey Bulger was captured after 16 years. Boston gangster Whitey Bulger is arrested outside an apartment in Santa Monica, California. If you've ever seen the movie Black Mass, that is your homework for the week. Watch Black Mass, a 2015 film starring your boy, Johnny Depp, as Whitey Bulger. Shows his rise to power in South Boston and how he became just the head of a crazy true crime series. Whitey Bulger. He charged racketeering, murder, conspiracy to commit murder, extortion, conspiracy to commit extortion, narcotics, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. He got caught, died at age 89 in prison, but 2 life sentences plus 5 years. I've always thought that was crazy. It's like, I'm going to sentence you to life plus 10 years. Today, June 22nd, 2011. So, died in prison. He was the Winter Hill gang leader. As a criminal, he made a point of only preying upon criminals, and when things couldn't be worked out, his satisfaction with these people, after all the other options have been explored, he wouldn't hesitate to use violence. FBI informant got killed in prison. Let's see. It just shows you all the people that he murdered. The arms trafficking, the murder. In summer of 1991, Bulger, along with associates, came into possession of a winning Massachusetts lottery ticket. Wow. The 4-man shadow prize around $14 million. So, don't say bad things happen to good people, because good things happen to bad people. But, downfall happened. He fled to California. And then the manhunt, the capture. Let's see, he was arrested in Santa Monica, California. 81 years old at the time of his arrest. The Bulger Fugitive Task Force. You done fucked up when you have a task force named after yourself. But, yeah, then he was, final detention, and then racketeering and conviction, death. Bulger was transferred from the Federal Transfer Center in Oklahoma City to United States Penitentiary in West Virginia in 2018. At 8:20 a.m. on October 30th, the 89-year-old Bulger was found dead. Bulger was in a wheelchair and had been beaten to death by multiple inmates armed with a sock wrap, padlock, and a shiv. His eyes has nearly been... His tongue went bye-bye. So, yeah. Crazy person. Watch the show, Black Mass. It's a great movie. Johnny Depp is fabulous in everything that he does. So, other than that, it's been a really good show. I'm ready to have a big Brat summer. This week we have WrestleMania Friday. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about I'm going to try to get some of these guys in here for like a little sit-down interview. Maybe use their equipment because it's a lot better than mine. Anyways, I don't think there's anything else to talk about. Let's see, any new breaking news? By the way, there was a horrific shooting up in Montreal. So, prayers to the victims of that shooting. It just shows you that it's not just America that has, a problem. No matter what problem you think that is, we have a problem. But, is this is Dustin Poirier's mugshot? I'll link it to the chat right here. No, I'm not going to do that. I don't even know how to do that. Anyway, doesn't look like anything else happened. I'm missing. Check it out. We got, we'll be back on Friday. I'm excited. Episode 72. Let's do a little quick recap of the show. Anyway. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Monday Night Raw happened just this earlier today in the UK. We're looking forward to Night of Champions this Sunday. Bully Ray, stop saying stupid shit. I get it. You're like the sixth best member of a six-man ladder match. I mean, name me 5 good Bully Ray matches. Anyway, boxing. Manel Cape with a huge win over Horiguchi. UFC Oklahoma City has got 2 champions going at it. Dustin Poirier, you deserve it, Diamond. Just be careful next time. And we talked about the Ultimate Fighter. I'm going to go watch episode 1 right now so I'll get more familiar with it. All-Star Weekend is coming up in a few weeks. And yeah, guys, we're in the lull period of sports. I'm sorry, the lull period. NBA Draft is in 2 days. AJ's going first, but who else is going where? Look forward to that. Dallas Mavericks got the Michigan head coach, Dustin May, as our new head coach. Good for Dustin May. I'm looking forward to seeing him turn this franchise around. NHL. The Florida Panthers got both Matthew and Brady Tkachuk. So, bros playing with bros. NFL, there's no football, but hey, the UFL, United Bowl, Louisville Kings, good for them. And FIFA, we got a lot more FIFA to go. Lionel Messi is making a lot more history. And check out Hassel Dragon every Sunday on HBO Max. And Whitey Bulger, he was our little miscellaneous talking today. Don't do crime. And it is the summer. I can't wait. I'm going to go hit up the pool. By the way, follow me on Twitter, Brat Said That X. Instagram, Brat Jackson, the O in Jackson 0. YouTube, Brat Said That too. Guys, subscribe. Let's grow. Let's grow together. Let's try to get 50 followers by the summer end. That's all I want. And, so definitely if you're in the Las Vegas area, go see WrestleMania. Go to Wise Guys anyway. I might go Wednesday. I'm waiting for the email. So, other than that, guys, I got to feed these dogs or make sure they get fed because they like to not eat when I'm here. When Mom's here, they eat like a buffet. But, anyways, love yourself, love each other, and have a great summer. We'll be back on Friday for episode 72. All right, good night, guys.